I just had a crazy idea, a floor idea that I want for having for a floor.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of couches, or instead of a bed. So I've seen people do it where they have the floor all the way, like the entire floor lined up with mattresses. Then when you do that, you don't have any space for storage. And then I see people where they in order to keep space, they turn their beds or couches into beds and then put it back into the form of couch. But I really hate couches because I feel like beds are just better for you in terms of you. I feel like you move around on a bed more than you move around on a couch. When you're on a couch, you're sedentary. Just something sedentary about it. But what if, like, we were just watching that video. We were just watching a video of a mat where the guy has a mat on his floor all the way across. What if you had beds all the way across, or cushion material?
Pillows all the way across.
But it was over a floor that each section, the entire floor was actually a storage compartment. So you
could take off each module.
And you could go into that storage. So you actually had a space of.
So it's like
the entire floor is actually a storage space.
It's like large tiles, but instead of tiles, they're pillows or cushions or something.
Well, you want it to be solid storage. Like this, where you feel firm. You can run across and not have to worry about slipping on the pillows. You want it to be a firm mattress, but you can create that firm mattress
even with
mattress
fabric,
sections.
Yeah.
No, not with fabric, with sections, with square that they fit snugly, so that when they're all fit in together, it feels like a firm floor that goes all the way across.
But it's still softer than a wood floor, so you're like...
Right. But you can lift up each part and get whatever storage you have in there. So that way all your storage is just right underneath your feet.
So the way you build this, right, is you'd make the storage compartments first. Array of storage compartments. Then maybe you'd have like a wood frame.
Like you probably want a grill.
A bit of padding.
It's probably a grill top. And then like I don't know, I've seen like metal
on top
grill.
Of each container.
No, I've seen like where you layer down a grid of grills. I don't know how to describe it.
Metal grill could be deformable. Wood makes more sense, I think. It needs to be heavy enough that even if I jump on it,
you need it.
Even if some 350-pound person jumps on it,
so that when you lift up the pillow, you can see what's in that storage compartment.
Right. But I'm saying the pillow, it can't be a pillow because it needs to be able to withstand getting jumped on, or stuff spilled on it, or stuff like that. So the seams between the pillows have to be like counting for this. And then the pillow shouldn't be a pillow; it should be carpet.
Well, no, it could seamless. Be. You know that couch that we saw that I was telling you about, that you could be. There's those thick couches that they can be turned into long couches or beds or whatever.
Right.
They're just a foam. It's a foam mattress that's like that thick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just when they fit firm together, it feels like one solid mat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's firm enough to walk across.
But what's to be lined with? Is it lined with literally a couch cushion material?
I don't understand.
Like, what's the material you're actually touching when you're walking on it? I think that should be carpet or something heavy duty.
No, because you want it to be soft enough to lay in it like it's a bed. It needs to be just like this bed that I'm laying on.
Can't exactly.
It needs to be soft. It needs to be where you're
this
laying
bed
on it.
Has a lot more squish than I would expect to run across.
Wouldn't it be fun to run across it, though?
It would be fun to run across this.
Okay, it would be,
again,
it's a little bit too squishy for Aita to walk across.
And then, it's not...
So it has to be firm enough that she would feel comfortable walking across it.
Okay. And then there's, again, the question of, how do you...
She was fine walking across the living room floor.
Right, that wasn't
and that had like
soft, though.
4 inches, that had 3 inches worth of material. You never got to look at it, but it had like a good padding worth.
wasn't.
I'm really sorry we didn't lift it up before we left. And now you said it's all ripped off. You said it's a wood floor underneath?
That's still mostly solid compared to this bed, which deforms. Hence the bouncing.
What is the mat that guy just had? The mats that you see on the floors and
Like
the,
yoga places?
no, that place we just saw, his studio, had a mat went all across.
Probably no more soft than a carpet with a bit of layer, single layer pie though. Me too.
I think it's like a silicone or it's something squishy.
It's a foam,
Dance
probably.
studios have this too.
Yeah.
It's a thick.
Okay, so dance studio foam or something like that, right?
Mhm.
Sure, that makes sense. To be solid enough that it's still mostly flat, but flexible enough that it gives when you land on it wrong. How do you deal with seams?
Just when it fits together really well. I don't know.
And when you spill something on it? Where's the water go? Straight down to the compartment where you're storing stuff?
Yeah, that could be an issue, I guess, huh?
And what about when you have crumbs on it? To just fall down there? It seems like it's
All right, so you don't want a metal grill. You want like a plastic top, clear plastic top first.
You want like a solid top for each of the compartments. And then the channels between the compartments.
Just goes to the ground below.
Maybe? If that means there actually is like an actual channel, like they aren't flush on both sides, right? But there actually is a channel on each of the sides.
And I guess this would be hard to do. My other idea of where you want to have heated floors.
It would be a bit of an impediment, yeah. Actually, no. If you only have channels, or you only have storage containers every other, or even if you have channels, you could run down the heated pipes through the channels. But then again, your storage stuff is now getting heated, which isn't great.
No.
And you don't have any thermal mass.
No. You can just have a thin tube. Those heating things that you have under the beds are just these thin tubes.
Yeah, but the
Electrical
thermal
wire that
mass,
just
you don't
goes-
have any thermal mass because there's no solid floor.
Right.
And
Oh, right.
so
I was going
instead,
to do the Korean form of with the tunnels.
I mean, you can still do that, but like there's no heat mass, no thermal mass there.
Right.
And again, your floors are now going to be very warm, and so is your stuff that you're storing in those floors. So
Right.
fabric, maybe.
Certainly no food items.
No, you're not going to store any food items there. Cool and dark place.
Yeah, so
So you
the
could do
summer
that,
in the tropics, it actually works great because then you have your cooler floor,
Floors, yeah.
cellar.
that makes sense, especially if you have what's like somehow thermally bound to the ground itself.
Then what do you do those 2 months of winter?
Then you take everything out, I guess. Maybe your second floor has heating.
Radiant heater on top. Radiant rug. Or you just have your thermal on the outside of the room, and then so the outside walls, so it blocks. So if you have your thermal mass along your edge of your walls, and it has that tube of heat, like the old Korean, I forgot what it's called, but it heats up the warm air that goes through. And then it keeps your walls warm, then the cold air doesn't seep in.
Just
From
get
the
better
outside.
insulation, right? and seal the goddamn walls properly. That is the single biggest. Insulation's gotten to the point nowadays where even basic insulation keeps out so much cold. The single biggest issue in modern homes, really anywhere actually, is not the walls. It's the windows and the fucking door frames and the vents and everything, all the holes, especially the windows. The windows really just kill everything.
I like my drafty, my old
Yeah,
drafty
but
house.
like in the middle
I really
of
liked
winter,
it.
you know?
I did actually. I liked the little cool breeze that would come through.
This is why you spent hours every winter trying to patch up the cracks, or not cracks, but the walls, the door frames.
Windows, yes.
I'm trying to get the cold air coming
I
in.
didn't like big gaps.
Oh, what's a big gap? 0.5 millimeter?
Where I was sealing it up, yes. Well, no, where I was sealing it up was like it was almost a centimeter.
No, it was not ever a centimeter.
Where the
of
windows
gap.
were.
There was a 0.5 millimeter of gap between the window and the windowsill, or between the door and the door frame.
Okay, the area that I was gapping up in the den was because there was an air conditioner unit there.
Sure, that one did have a centimeter gap.
That had a centimeter gap. And then the other one would be the one by the door by the kitchen, and that one had a good couple of millimeters. Well, no, more it was the window slits that each one of those grooves.
Right.
But when you add them all up, there were like 10 grooves.
Sure.
So
yeah, but there was a centimeter though.
When you add them all up.
Like, yeah, again, that's where the
gaps are.
That's where that's where you get your cold air from. It's never from the walls. The walls don't pass anything in modern homes.
Yeah.
Walls alone, the house would stay warm for a while. Okay.
All right, storage in your walls then.
Good plan. Storage in your walls.
All walls should be storage space.
Extra soundproofing, extra thermal insulation barriers, and if they're empty, it doesn't really matter. It's just air. It's an extra like air pocket cushions.
Yep. The cat looks really cool. What you doing, cat?
It's amazing amount of sound dampening that just like a bookcase makes. Like
so much.
Furniture.
Blankets.